Welcome to the Loaded Box Podcast.
Where we never finish first because we finish last.
Insert generic show opening here.
Well, hey, are you guys ready for some Country Fest this weekend?
No.
Oh, wow. That was not a good... I thought maybe that intro there would get you guys a little sparked up for some country music.
That's a big...
I don't like that garbage.
It's a big negative, Ghost Rider.
So I think you guys are both missing out on an aspect of life that I think you'd both like. So I'm assuming neither of you like country music.
Yep.
Intern Logan?
You hit that on the head.
Okay, the thing is, that what the beauty about an outdoor music festival is, you don't even need to like the music. You literally can go, be outside all day in nice weather, pounding beers, no responsibility, and you got music and friends in the background. What do you not like about that?
Sounds like a normal Saturday party to me.
Also, I don't like all the fucking hicks that are around me. Just all gross and smelly and dirty and hicky. Like, I don't like those guys anywhere near me.
You might be at a disadvantage because if people get angry and upset, you're like a target.
I'll fuck up Riley Cooper.
Riley Cooper at a Kenny Chesney concert. That's what I'm going to try to avoid this weekend. I'll see how it goes, though.
Yeah.
Well, thank you once again for listening to the Loaded Box Podcast. I am Ben Morgan. That's DJ Primo. Once again, we have intern Logan. You heard him ripping on country music earlier. So thank you for listening. This week we're going to do part 2 of where we're drafting players as if we're starting an NFL franchise. So last week we did part 1. We all have a combination of 11 offensive and defensive players. And then on this episode, we're going to be drafting our final 11. After this one, we'll be done, obviously, and we will put our 3 lineups on social media, Twitter and Facebook, and we're going to let the audience decide the franchise that they'd like to start with. So are you boys ready for part 2? This is where you're going to need to make your picks to really solidify that team if you guys are going to catch me.
This is where the separation between the good and the 35-year-old defensive end.
Yeah. Already.
I think you're jealous of my stable locker room presence. You guys got a bunch of young potheads. You're going to get all suspended. I got a guy that's going to set the tone in the locker room.
I'm jealous of the fact that you name-dropped one playoff appearance in the last 15 years.
Also, you can't be in the locker room when you're injured almost every year, except for one.
Wow, he got injured 1 year. Logan, that comment was actually spot on. I would almost spit out my drink. That was pretty solid. I'll give you that.
Well, I got you back for the pizza last week then because I thought I was going to choke it down.
All right, well, now we'll consider it even, and we'll try to get DJ in there. But I am first on the board here, and right now I've been able to think about this for a week. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to prevent DJ from having his Cowboys offensive line dynasty. I'm going to take his guard. I'm going to take Zach Martin.
How dare you?
Yeah, I needed to do it. So right now, let me take a peek at my offensive line. I've got Teron Armstead at left tackle. I've got Marshall Yanda at left guard. I now have Zach Martin at right guard. So I'm still missing a center and a right tackle. But Zach Martin is such a good guard that I feel like I have to take him here. He was Pro Football Focus's top run blocking guard in 2016 with a grade of 87.1. And he's graded out at over 85 every single year in the league. And he earned All-Pro honors twice. He's allowed 3 quarterback sacks in his entire career. And are you ready for this factoid?
Nope.
He's married to Tyler Eifert's sister.
No comment. Too many guys are married to other guys' sisters in this league.
Dude, as long as he's not married to his own sister, I think he's doing all right.
Yeah, I actually read an article today about a guy marrying his sister, or not today, but within the last week. And he's like, you can't fight true love and stuff like that. The guy married his own sister.
I mean, he's got a point. You can't fight it. Incest is best, right, Logan?
What the hell was that? What the fuck was that?
right, Logan? What does that mean?
I don't know. I haven't heard from you for a while, so I wanted to make sure you were there.
Those 2 drafts, and I get a Logan to an
Sorry, man. We're not all live together this week, so I can't tell if you're sleeping, if you froze, or if you're ready to go. So I just needed to make sure you were still there.
Oh, I'm here.
Well,
if you chirp me, I'm gonna hear it.
Good. I'm ready for it. Then we'll keep chirping. Well, DJ, who's your pick?
Well, I get the option of I want to light up on offense now, and I'm gonna grab me another wide receiver.
Fucking this guy every time. Every time, like from round 2 on. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Take my guy.
I don't think I'm gonna take who you think I'm gonna take, but maybe I am. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna grab AJ Green here.
Fuck you.
He's just a tall, athletic freak of a wide receiver. He was drafted in the top 10. I know he's been injured on and off his whole career, but you get him with a good quarterback. You get him healthy, opposite of Odell Beckham. And Odell Beckham can run in the slot, and AJ Green can run outside, and they can both make some crazy plays. I think I've got still top 3 most talented wide receivers in the NFL here in AJ Green.
Dude, and you just went with your size too. You got your size guy.
Yep. I'll probably grab another one yet.
Did you know that AJ Green's first favorite sport was juggling?
Yeah, I actually did because I was just looking into some AJ Green. He's a big juggler. He just had that Hail Mary where he juggled the ball, so that was a big conversation.
Yeah, that one that he was cheating on. Like, there's no one. That was incredible. But yeah, maybe that's why he does that. But yeah, you drafted yourself a first-class juggler. Congrats.
Yeah, good hands. Good eye-and-eye coordination.
Good on you.
Thank you.
All right, so it's me.
Yeah, you're up.
All right. Well, I was looking for a wide receiver. You took AJ Green. That's okay. I don't hate my other option. I really like Dez. He kind of gives me that big guy who can go up and do anything to kind of put alongside of Antonio Brown. So Dez Bryant is my pick. And I want to note that in my pre-draft selection, we did not question him on his mom being a hooker or not. So we have that over the Dolphins, which is, I think, an absolute plus. I'm not mistaken. It was this guy from the Dolphins who asked that, right?
Jeff
that
Ireland is my favorite memory of his entire time there.
So yeah, well, that's probably the highlight. So we have that, and then
Wait.
Oh, he's got to drop his stupid factoid.
Dez Bryant allegedly only eats 3 things: sushi, hamburgers, and pizza. Do you believe that?
He sounds almost like you, except for the sushi.
I know. But if you threw like chicken in there instead of the sushi, I am Dez Bryant.
Well, except for the whole black and gifted thing.
Yeah, I failed on those 2 things. Besides that, it's close.
Really fucked up there.
Isn't that wild though? I mean, for like a guy to be in that super shape, like hamburgers, pizza, and sushi.
Chad Johnson ate McDonald's all the time.
Oh, that's true. Cigars and McDonald's. Breakfast of
Poor
champions.
guy.
What?
I said poor guy.
Poor guy.
Oh,
All
nice
right.
bird sound.
All right, next pick. I may catch flack because he's going to play out of position, but as I said during our first one, these are top flight guys. I feel like there isn't really that much difference, and I'm not worried about playing this guy outside at all. I'm taking Bobby Wagner, and I'm playing him at outside linebacker.
See, you just stole my pick.
Ha-ha!
First time
I was
for
playing
everything.
him at inside linebacker, but
He can play outside. I have no qualms at all about putting him outside next to Kuechly. And now I can run some kind of multiple bullshit. I got Kuechly in the middle sometimes. I could flip them around. I can do some awesome packages with just those 2 guys like out there. Oh boy, I'll tell you what. I'm 6 to midnight just thinking about it.
Dude, what I like, there's PFF stats that say like Wagner is legit, like one of the best linebackers in the game. You don't have to watch for too long just to see it. He's part of that defense where like everyone just looks good, but I legit think he could go anywhere and just make it happen.
yeah, I mean, he's a good player. I mean, you can't deny an inside linebacker. They kind of I think that any inside linebacker that can move around and fly around the field like he does can fit anywhere. That's just one of those positions where you're good at any place that you go to. Like Kuechly would be good anywhere he went. I think Navarro Bowman would be good no matter where he went. It's just one of those types of guys there.
Right. All right, DJ, who's your second pick today?
All right. Well, my next pick here, I don't know who I'm going to take. I got me a couple cornerbacks. I think I got to go defense. I want to go back to maybe the second most important position in football, the next quarterback, basically. I'm going to go Jadeveon Clowney.
Ooh.
Yeah. He's had some injured years, but he's starting to get more healthy. He's starting to become more dominant every year. And you're starting to see that freak that the Houston Texans thought they drafted. So I like him, and he's got a lot of time left, and he's starting to show what he's got in the league.
If you're the Texans and you can right now you have to pick, you're taking one. You get one of these guys, and you got to release the other one. Would you take Clowney or Watt?
I already did.
I figured that would be your answer, but actually,
that's really tough because the back injury for Watt is one of those ones that is type of like Rob Gronkowski, one of those ones that you're worried that a guy won't recover from.
Right.
So that makes me lean towards Jadeveon. Those back injuries really make me nervous for guys. That's why I stay away from anybody in this type of draft with that type of back injury. I was never going to draft, and I'm not going to draft Rob Gronkowski. Spoiler.
Right.
So those guys make me nervous.
Yeah, Clowney's had his fair share of injuries as well, but they've been kind of like those nagging injuries where it's just something he's rushing back from and getting hurt again. Whereas Watts have been like season ending. I need a major surgery, and he's playing in a position where he's engaged with another player all the time. And I don't know if I had one of them, I think I would take Clowney right now.
But honestly, I feel like the nagging injuries are the ones that bother you more. Like the guy who has to miss.
I think that's the definition of nagging.
Huh?
I think that's the definition of nagging.
Well, people who annoy you.
Not saying it.
I would be more frustrated with a guy who's going to miss 4 to 6 games.
Then never play again?
Well, what do you mean never play again? Why
that's the one thing I'm worried about is this guy like that, like Gronk. I think he's at the risk of never playing again. He's just that's an injury that you can just not come back from, even though you think you can.
Right. Yeah, I'm scared of him.
Who's up? Ben, you're up?
I am up. I've got some back-to-back picks here, and I am going to take the guy that I almost took here in the first round of today. There's a lot of safeties that I still kind of like, but I'm going to get this guy. I'm going to take Harrison Smith, because if you were to go on Google right now and type in what's the definition of versatile, DJ, a picture of Harrison Smith shows up. He is one of the only guys that ranks in PFF's top 10 in coverage, run defense, and pass rush as safeties. The dude does it all. Opposing quarterbacks have a passer rating under 70 when he's in coverage throughout his entire career. And probably the most important thing about a guy like Harrison Smith, his aunt is an actress and has appeared in films and shows such as Friends, NCIS, and The Parent Trap.
I call bullshit. He's not a girl.
Why is he? What do you mean he's not a girl?
Didn't you say actress?
His aunt is an actress.
Oh, I thought you said he's an actress.
Whose aunt?
Harrison Smith, where have you been?
You know, me and DJ had a conversation about this beforehand, about the merits of Harrison Smith, and DJ, shit on me when I brought him up, in the top echelon of safeties.
Oh my gosh, dude, he literally does
DJ,
it all.
What?
DJ, care to come on the podcast and discuss?
Yeah, I'm going to come on the podcast and discuss.
That's you. Come on the podcast. Come at it.
Well, I know he'll get picked apart by Aaron Rodgers multiple times a year.
Oh gosh.
So, I mean, he can't really be that good, right?
Does he really, though?
The second game last year, most of the time, yeah. Rodgers always succeeds throwing against the Vikings.
Okay, but we're talking about potentially one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Advantage offense. Harrison Smith is fine against everyone else, and I don't think he's that terrible against Rodgers either.
I'm not not a big fan of Harrison Smith. I just don't like. I don't think he's got good speed. I think he can get beat over the top. I'm just not. He might have instincts, and he can come up and stop the run.
That's the
he
thing.
He has that ability, but I don't think he's great in coverage.
Dude, I just told you that he has a career passer rating of under like 70.
Yeah, but he's also a safety.
Yeah, so when he's targeted against, it's not getting
really
completed.
Get targeted against that much at the safety position.
Well, when he's in coverage, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I'm not buying it.
Maybe they don't target him because they're scared of him.
Mm-hmm.
White
Yeah,
Lightning.
Richard Sherman.
White Lightning. All right, I'm going to back it up here. I'm going to go with...
Not white.
Who?
Is Harrison Smith white?
Oh, my gosh. Get off the podcast. Logan, it's me and you.
I thought he was half black.
Why?
You're half black.
I know I am. That's why I thought he was half black.
So, side story. I met Harrison. I don't know if I can say I met him, but I ran into him, and I got him to sign this football, but my problem was I had 2 scrubs on it. That football would be legit awesome, like for like a mantle thing right now, but I have 2 scrubs on it with him, so I almost want to scrub those other names off and I could have a Harrison Smith autographed football.
Well, congratulations
Hey,
on
thanks,
that.
man.
I have an autographed football by. Okay, what is the most obscure, ridiculous Packers punter you could ever think of, DJ?
Obscure, ridiculous what?
Packers punter, an old Packers punter. He stayed at the Wilderness when I was working there, and he autographed a football for me.
Chris Jackie.
That's a kicker. I don't know.
Bidwell.
Shut up.
Josh Bidwell. He was at the Wilderness with Favre and somebody else, and
Why didn't you just get Favre's autograph?
you think Favre is gonna kick it with a scrubby punter like that in public?
He loves his guys.
Dude, he's in the hotel room. He's sending dick pics left and right. You're right.
I was gonna say, he's in the hotel room chopping up pain pills and snorting them.
And sending dick pics.
Sending DPs.
Yeah.
Well, nice. So if anyone's interested in a Josh Bidwell autographed ball, make sure you reach out to Logan on Twitter. Want to give me your Twitter handle?
At Logie J. Send them long, send them strong.
There you go.
What up, ladies? All right. I'm going to take my first defensive tackle of the entire draft, and I'm a little surprised that this guy fell, but he is 29, so you guys are kind of ageist, if that's a thing. But I'm going to go with a guy that's like a dominant force. He's really fun to watch. I kind of compare him to like an Ndamukong Suh in their style of play. It's Gerald McCoy. The dude is just disruptive. What's your Go ahead.
No, I like Gerald McCoy. I've seen him play like 3 games the entire time he's been in the league, so I mean, he's good.
Yeah, I know he didn't have a great year this last year, but he's still a pretty goddamn good defensive lineman.
Can I take this opportunity, though? I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. Can we talk about Tampa Bay's fucking uniforms? Why did they go with alarm clock numbers? What's the shit out of it?
I guess I don't even know. I can't even think of them right now off the top of my head.
What do you mean alarm clock numbers?
Like, it's that orange, and then the lettering is like that
Squared,
like, and then it cuts it off where the number connects, and then it begins again, and then it's ugh.
I'm gonna have to
I don't
look
know,
at
man.
him. I can't comment on it. I don't know. Why are you
Like
noticing this?
digital clock, like digital alarm clock numbers is what it looks like.
so there's like little breaks in the numbers, like little spaces.
Yeah.
Well, shit, I'm gonna have to check this out. But this is bad. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, me either, dude. You lost me. All I know is that a 17-year-old male allegedly broke into Gerald McCoy's house in Tampa right before a Thursday night game against the Falcons, and the intruder pulled a handgun on Gerald's dad. And Gerald's dad confronted the suspect. He ended up living, and Gerald McCoy at a press conference said, "Don't worry, he's just a lost kid. He
All
probably
right, I'm gonna take.
hold on. He probably needs some guidance." What I
This
wanted.
guy here.
Oh, you are such a cunt, dude. That's nuts.
because they're awful. I'm just listening to these guys. Factoids here.
Who do you want, fuckboy?
I'm going to take my nose tackle here. I'm going to take Leonard Williams. He's only 22, and he had a great, dominant season last year. And he posted 48 defensive stops. That's second most among all interior defenders. So I'm getting a young guy who's just going to get better and better on a team that wasn't that good defensively. So I'm a big Leonard Williams fan here.
So I remember the hype about Leonard Williams before he was drafted. And so I kind of watched him towards the end of his last year at USC. And I remember specifically in the bowl game just watching him on like every play. And he was pretty much late off the ball every single snap. And I remember we had Jonathan Valencia on, and we talked to him about this, and it just shows, like we said, what are you looking for when you're watching defensive tackles? And one of his main things was the snap, the jump off of the ball. So I specifically asked him about Leonard Williams, and he was like, yeah, even though he's slow off the ball, I'm a huge fan of Leonard Williams, and it just goes to show how talented he is that he's not even jumping off the ball quick, and he still penetrates and he can still like manhandle his offensive linemen.
And he's like real young as well, so he hasn't figured it out yet. So imagine what he's going to do once he starts getting a good jump.
You might have gotten like the best value pick so far. Like you said, if he was on a team other than the Jets, he would probably get a ton more respect around the league right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I don't have
He's
any
got a
other...
good defensive coach as well. Good head coach that's a good defensive coach as well. So
Yeah.
he'll get better. He'll improve.
Oh, yeah. He's already good, man.
He's already good, but he'll get better.
How you going to back that up, Logan? Not impressed, he says.
Me, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's only 3 of us, man.
Let's see. I should probably address offensive line again. Tell you what, I want 1/3 of the free Hernandez train.
No.
Pouncey.
Ooh.
I like a guy who is willing to not only block in the trenches in the middle, but I want a guy who's willing to stick his neck out for a murderer. You know, 1, he's determined. 2, he's loyal to his friends and teammates. So this is the kind of guy I really want on my team.
I didn't hear the first part. Was it Mike or Marquise?
The one who plays for Miami.
Yeah, boy. They both get hurt all the time, and you took the one that's really hurt all the time.
I mean, aren't they both pretty hurt all the time?
Yeah, but I just feel like Mike, like if he ever played a full 16-game season, like I think he would blow every Dolphins fan's mind. Like I don't know, he's like already like, they're already talking about not letting him like do anything this offseason, like very limited to nothing in the preseason. And then it's like week 1, it's like he'll probably play, but it's still like not 100% sure. So
when's the last time Marquise played a full season?
Yeah, that's the thing. He's always hurt too.
Yeah. Well, they're both great, but I didn't even put them on my list because they support murder for the opposite reason. Somebody who supports a guy that so clearly murdered everybody doesn't have a good head on their shoulders.
How about that though? Paying for Hernandez's defense in his latest and last trial.
Yeah,
that's ballsy.
Hey, fun fact: Aaron Hernandez hung himself.
He did.
Well, how are you going to possibly back up that pick?
Let's see.
Factoid: Hernandez is dead.
He's still a good pick, though, isn't he?
You know what? I'm gonna take this guy, and you're probably gonna make fun of me again. But when he left Carolina, their pass defense went from one of the top in the league to the 27th or 28th ranked pass defense in the entire league. I want Josh Norman. He's not afraid to mix it up. He's not afraid to do a little pointing of the bat at bitch-ass wide receivers.
Of the bat.
And I don't know if you remember that story, but apparently he was accused of pointing a bat in the direction of that little bitch with yellow hair. He's on your team, right, TJ?
Yeah.
Ah, weird. So when my team and your team play, there's going to be a lot of back pointing, there's going to be a lot of hard hitting, and there's going to be a lot of pants shitting because your defense is going to be of me.
Josh Norman got put in a spin cycle by Odell Beckham. Spin cycle. I'm not worried about it.
What time? What happened? What happened? The 50 other snaps.
I'm worried about last year and Odell shit on him. Not worried about it.
Shit on you if you keep it up.
Yeah,
Dude,
and have to try to cover AJ Green. So
I like Josh Norman. I was a little skeptical on him as well, but like you said, once Carolina's defense got just effed on, you understood how important he was. So I agree. Yeah, he got tossed around by OBJ, literally and figuratively. But I mean, that's one of the best receivers in the game. It's going to happen. Offensive players have the advantage.
do you hear that?
I don't.
Okay, there's like a helicopter going over my head, and it's really loud.
Yikes.
Yikes, dude. Hope it doesn't hit you.
I'm gonna wait for this to fly by. Fly by shooting. All right, am I up?
You sure are. Why can't you guys follow along?
I just wanted to wait till this helicopter didn't shoot me in the head. Christ. God, why are you such a little bitch about everything?
Be a baby DJ and make your shitty selection.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go homer pick here just because I don't want. Well, fuck, Logan. Fuck, I wish I knew how many safeties you had.
Should have been paying attention.
Actually, I'm gonna change it. I have my whole team down, so I know who's been taken and who hasn't. I just don't know who's playing for who. We're gonna have to cut Ben off. He's gonna start crying soon. I'm gonna go at inside linebacker. I don't have one yet.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna take a guy who, again, I'm going injury problems here, but just a straight up leader. I think maybe the best linebacker in football when he's healthy. I think maybe even better than Luke Kuechly. I'm gonna go with Navarro Bowman here. Just the ultimate leader, ultimate tough guy, not afraid to get in there and mix up, just constantly around the ball, making tackles. Guy's a freak of nature. I love Navarro, and he learned from freaking Patrick Willis. So,
You learned how to retire.
yeah.
I'm looking up one thing. Let me check here. Oh, okay. He's only 29 years old. I can get behind that pick. He was on my list as well. Yeah, you're spot on, though. And some people were saying, like, even when Willis was there, it wasn't like as much of a gap between the two as you would have thought. Like, Bowman's legit. If he wouldn't, remember that gruesome injury he had in I think it was a playoff game?
Yeah.
Which basically screwed him for that next season as well. He was, I mean, as dominant as you can get. They had such a sick defense before all of them quit.
They did.
Yeah, I like Bowman. I thought he was older than that, so I'm going to give you a double props for that one. That's pretty good.
They had was it Eric Reed their safety with that too?
Yeah, Eric Reed, Willis. God, I can't even think about the guy on the defensive
Eldon
line
Smith
now.
was on there.
Eldon Smith.
Justin Smith.
Justin
I mean,
Smith, yeah.
They were legit.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, that was like cheating there. Well, I'm up here. I get 2 in a row. I keep forgetting that I get 2 in a row. So
God,
I'm
did
gonna.
you just pay fucking attention, dude?
I know, I do. I just ripped on you, and now I'm getting it right back at me. Well, I'm
I
gonna
should draft another tight end.
considered it. Instead, I'm gonna go back-to-back defensive tackles here. I'm
Okay.
gonna go with maybe the smallest guy in this, Kawan Short. He, like Bowman, is under the age of 30. He's 28. He just signed a 5-year, $80 million deal. Last year at defensive tackle, he had 55 tackles and 6 sacks. That's the third highest Pro Football Focus interior defensive lineman. Behind who, you may ask? Aaron Donald and Calais Campbell. And Calais Campbell is really not draftable in this, unless you're me.
Why not?
He's old, man. It'd be
29.
Calais Campbell?
Yeah.
Oh, he's only 29?
Then, according to my research,
Okay, well, I take it back. Someone should take Calais Campbell because Aaron Donald and Calais Campbell were the only defensive tackles that scored higher than Kawan Short. But I'm going to go with Short just because of how impressive his last couple of years were. And I don't know. I think with my defensive line right now, I don't know if you guys are ready for this, but my defensive line features Khalil Mack and Cam Wake on the outside and Gerald McCoy
God.
and Kawan Short in the middle. We talked about Logan's line getting right to people. My line's getting to people right away, too.
You've got 2 people that'll play and then 2 people that won't.
You're such an asshole.
I'm not going to disparage your defensive line, but I'm obviously going to politic for my own. What I like about mine is the versatility, where I feel like I have guys who can do a lot of things.
You do.
If I need to have one dude stand up, I can have one dude stand up. I can do like some 2-4 bullshit if I wanted to. Kind of.
The NASCAR defense.
NASCAR.
Turn left, baby. Turn left.
Jesus Christ. And the other good thing about your defense is, all your guys are going to probably play a full year. So, and none of your guys are like the same age as Frank Gore.
Dude, I'm just telling you, man. I drafted myself a 3rd down specialist. He's going to be fine. As soon as we get him on Madden, you guys are done.
I'm calling my shot. Can't wait gets injured before the season this year.
Before the season. Dude, knock on wood right now, because otherwise you're a dick.
Nope, don't care.
I'm up.
Yeah, you're still
One
up.
more
You
time.
just done 1 D-tech on your 2.
Okay, so a lot of people are going to say who when I make this selection, but that's just because
Who?
See, I already got one. But
I
that's
know.
only because he plays for the Browns and has 29 career starts. I'm taking 24-year-old. I'm playing him at middle linebacker. He's going to play probably outside linebacker this year, so I'm pulling a Logan here. I'm taking Christian Kirksey. Talk about versatile. The dude can play in the middle, and like I said, he's playing outside this year. He's really developed into like a dominant guy against defending the run, and I've got some plans for my other linebacker position right now. I've got Jamie Collins who can play in coverage, and now I've got Kirksey who can play against the run, and I've got one more guy in mind I don't think you guys have who's going to shore up the remaining of my linebackers. But in 2016, Kirksey's run defense grade was 84.9, which was 4th amongst linebackers, and his number of run stops was 1st amongst inside linebackers. So I'm getting a super young guy that has a really bright future. The problem is he plays in Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, so I don't really have much of a comment on that one.
Me neither.
Fair enough. Well, I think I nailed it, so you're up, DJ.
I'm going to go ahead and grab me a guard. Just keep adding to that Andrew Luck awesome offensive line so he doesn't get hurt this year on my team. I'm going to take Kalichi Osemele.
Ooh, Osemele.
Raiders.
So just say the guy from the Raiders and people will be
Yeah,
like,
Raiders left guard. He's 27 years old. Osemele, whatever, Osemele Sam. He surrendered 11 total QB pressures in 15 games. He graded out as 84.5 was his best performance against the Saints in Week 1. I'm a big fan of him. He came in the top 50 of PFF's top 101. He's young, got a lot of time left, and he's just one of the many offensive linemen who are really good for the Raiders. So nice. And yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, I like the pick, and I think he should get a lot of the credit for how good Derek Carr has been so far in his career.
We
Because
got a couple of guys. Their center at Hudson.
yeah, because look at Carr's older brother, David Carr. Like, he had really great talent as well, but he literally came into the league, had no protection, got hit every other play, led the league in sacks pretty much every year he played, and it just rattled his confidence. So Derek saw that. Derek was a big part of that, and now he's getting protection, and he's able to actually develop and perform.
Yeah.
So, yeah, your offensive line is probably tops of our teams right now.
Don't compliment me.
It's whatever. Fine, I'm done.
I wouldn't argue with that. I think it's the best line.
See? Look at that. We'll pat you on the back, but we're gonna burn your ass when you mess up.
All right. That laugh.
Yeah.
I love that laugh.
Love that.
Okay.
We need to cut that, Logan, that laugh, and make it like the sound bite.
Make it like a response thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I better jump on the guard wagon here and just finish this bad boy up. I'm really pissed off he took Osemele. I'm going to take the biggest goddamn bastard on the planet. I'm going to take DeCastro. The dude is a monster. He's still relatively young. I think he's only like 26 or 27.
27.
He's a fucking veteran. So you can't, if you talk shit about this pick, you hate this country. You hate everything this country stands for. Okay.
Oh, that kind of veteran. I thought you like a veteran in the league.
No, you haven't seen all those commercials for like.
Yeah, I guess I have. Yeah.
Federal or some other stuff. I don't know. I can't tell you what he was actually in. Was he a ranger or something like that?
I don't know. It was like I know I know the commercials you're talking about now.
But I do have to say that he probably made a good decision getting out of the army and stuff like that, because I mean, if you're 6'7", you're kind of a liability. What are you going to hide behind?
Dude,
yeah, that's true.
You are a target.
So he did a good job there. And then I'm gonna take Pugh for my other guard. Huh? Is he taken?
Pugh. No, I'm just saying you stink because his last name is Pugh.
Well, fuck off. I want him. He's really good. I actually had him listed as like one of my top guards, so I'm kind of happy to get him this late. So yeah, my offensive line's done, and honestly, I don't hate it. Obviously, you have the best O-line, DJ, but this one ain't one to just poo away. Justin Pugh, poo.
Yeah, but Pugh, heavy LePugh.
Oh, and a reminder too, when we are finished up here, it's going to be like a courtroom. We're all going to get a couple seconds to make a case for our team.
Oh, shit!
So get your final statements.
Closing
arguments. Thank you. I didn't think that sounded right. Nice. Well, DJ, who do you got here in the 17th round?
God, we're getting there, aren't we?
Yep.
All right. Well, shit. This is tough. Do I want to shore up my defensive line? Do I want to shore up my offensive line? I'm going to save my tight end for last because dumbasses take tight ends early.
I got the best one.
I'm going to go here and grab... God, I don't even know. This is tough. I'm thinking out loud. I'm going to just keep stalling here.
That's what you got to do, Jonathan.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Yo Mama. I'm going to make my homer pick that I was going to take last time. I need to get one Packer on my team. I'm going to take HaHa Clinton's Dix. HaHa getting picks at the other safety spot just because, I don't know, because I'm a homer. He's getting better and better every year. He's becoming a vocal leader. He's becoming just an overall leader in that defense. I like his presence. He's not afraid to come up and get mixed in, and he flies around, and he's starting to make more plays every year. He's being one of those guys who's around the ball more often. You see his interceptions go up every year. I'm a big fan of HaHa Clinton Dix. His tackling can get a little bit better. His coverage is good. But I want a young guy that's a Packer in my defense, so I'm taking HaHa. One of the only guys that can cover on, or the only guy I think that can stay healthy and cover on that team.
I was gonna say, talk about a defense that gets exposed.
Yeah, but not him. He had to try to cover up everything.
What happened in that one game against Seattle in the playoffs? Bad memory.
I know he got like 5 picks. No, 2 or 3 picks that game.
Yeah, he did actually have a good game. It was just that one play.
One
play that kills him.
He's done really, really well against Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I don't know. The pick is fine. Like you said, that's the guy on their defense they should probably just like focus on just really building around at this point. Because like you said, he's still young. He's getting better every single year. He is the one guy that's not a liability. He has a great last name.
Great first name.
Yeah, all around, man. Best pick of the draft. I'm not going to lie.
And I just need a Packer on my team. And I felt like this was the right time to do it. I didn't want Logan to take him. I don't know if he has a safety left, but...
Yeah, I have both mine, so you'd have been safe there. I don't know about Logan right now.
Nope, I am out. Oh, wait, I do have safety left.
See, you took his guy.
Perfect.
I don't want to call my next pick a homer pick, but it is a guy that I am just infatuated with. And he's going to start for me in the slot receiver, and what I like about him is he can play in the slot. And eventually, when my other guys need a break, so I've got Julio Jones and Mike Evans on the outside, which is just nasty. And in the slot, so I really wanted to do the homer thing here and take Jarvis Landry. But I like a guy that can play on the outside too. And Landry can do it, but just not to the extent that I think this guy's going to.
And Landry shouldn't get drafted in this either. So.
Oh, just because he has the most receptions in the first 3 years of his career of anyone in the NFL.
There's a lot of guys better than him.
But I digress. My selection is going to be Corey Davis because I'm a broken record on this guy. But
holy fuck, he's not even going to play this year, is he?
Dude, there's a lot of veterans out there that I could take. I'm not going to lie. Like Jarvis Landry, Amari Cooper, DeAndre Hopkins, all those guys are great, probably better than Corey Davis. But I love Corey Davis's potential. I said it all the time during our draft prep. If you have a list of things you want a receiver to be, Corey Davis checks all the boxes. He got picked 5th overall for a reason, man. Like,
yeah, he played at Western Michigan.
hey, remember this when he got picked 5th overall and that sparked Tajay Sharp to punch a man in the face? So, DJ, I want to ask you, what would someone have to do to make you so mad that you would punch them in the face?
Talk shit.
Talk a lot of shit or being a little bitch.
Talk a lot of shit.
For me, it would be someone taking a 35-year-old defensive end.
That's all it would take?
That's it. Just punch him right in the face.
I'm calling your bluff because I don't have any marks on my face and it's been a week.
But he wanted to.
He
Just
freaking
yelled
wanted to.
restraint for the podcast purposes.
Well, I'm cool with it. I think it was a bit of a reach, but at this point, I'm good with all my guys that I have. Because if you remember, my last 2 picks are already set in stone, so I don't need to worry about it. But let me move my page here so I can get to my next guy.
God, I can't believe you tried to make a case for fucking Jarvis Landry being drafted here.
I hope Logan takes him. My next guy, and this is that linebacker I was telling you guys a little bit about. So, like I said, right now I've got Kirksey, who's awesome against the run. Jamie Collins, who is great at getting to the quarterback, really good in coverage. And now I've got another wild card guy here. I've just loved this guy ever since he's been in the league. And that is the Jaguars' Telvin Smith. Familiar?
Yeah, I like him. I have him on my list.
Okay, a lot of good things here. So right away, he kind of gets a bad rap from people just because, I don't remember if it was last year or 2 years ago. He started out kind of shaky. He had a lot of missed tackles. But if you look deeper than that, he's actually really good. He gets side to side, sideline to sideline quicker than most linebackers that I've seen play. And actually, last year he graded out as the 8th best outside linebacker, and he was 2nd best against the run, and he's only 26 years old. He's another one of those guys who has experienced a family tragedy. Factoid, his brother was shot and killed in Georgia when he was only 25 years old.
His brother? Now you've got another killing, huh?
Yeah.
Good God, can we liven this bad boy up?
Dude, I am taking guys that have been tried and tested.
Okay. That's not. Okay.
Why do you have to get so, dark with this?
Freaking Logan took Mike Pouncey, who supported Aaron Hernandez.
I'm so depressed, yeah, but
And I
we
gave a damn well good point on why I took him for supporting Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah.
You're just making me depressed so far.
Why don't you take a guy? Why don't you take, Ray Caruth or someone?
He's old and dead. Can I take? I'm up now that you got your 2, Jarvis Landry and.
I didn't take Landry. I took Corey Davis.
I know, but I just wanted to give you shit. I can't believe you took a wide receiver out of Western Michigan that hasn't played in the NFL. He basically played D2 football.
Dude, you guys give me shit for taking old guys. Now I took the youngest receiver basically in the league with a lot of upside, and you're going to give me shit for that.
Well, I mean, everybody who gets drafted is got a lot of upside.
Let the people vote. We'll let the people vote.
That's fine. I'm going to shore up my offensive line, finish it up, and I think this guy has been taken. God, I hope he has.
You go to the end if you take a guy that's been taken.
I'll go to the end if I take a guy that's been taken. I'm going to go, God, I feel like this guy's been taken. Kevin Zeitler?
No, you're good.
All right.
He's just old as fuck.
No, he's not. Kevin Zeitler is, hold on, I have it on my list here, 27 years old.
Who am I thinking of?
I don't know, but he plays the right guard for the Bengals. He didn't miss one.
He's a Badger.
Yeah.
What?
He played for
he's
the
a Badger.
Barriers.
I must have him mixed up something else.
He didn't miss a single snap the entire year, so you got that consistency that you like guys that are going to stay healthy. Because I don't know why this plays over and over and over again. I'm usually like a guy who's like, I'm not going to judge previous year's injuries into the next year, but for some reason, it ends up proving over and over again that a guy that gets injured, a guy stays healthy, typically stays healthy. So I like having a guy that can that I know played all snaps and has a good chance of playing all snaps this year, and only allowed one sack all of last year. So he was very solid on that Bengals offensive line at right guard.
That's pretty solid. And, yeah, it is confirmed he's only 27 years old. My question about Zeitler, and it's not his talent or anything, it's he played for the Bengals, and they're that team that pretty much in playoff talk every year except for last year. I think they kind of had a fluky year. But they're a team that's really kind of close. And I get that people chase money, but why would you go to the Browns? That's what I don't get about free agency. I get money is it's a huge thing, but okay, if you're making $20 million, do you need 30?
Well, I think a lot of it for guys is that they feel their value is being paid for.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think for offensive linemen, dude, they don't. It's not like they're getting the glory anyways.
That is very
Joe
true.
Thomas has had to suffer in there, Browns.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not going to be the faces of a franchise, like Joe Thomas, obviously the Browns would pay and have paid to keep Joe, but it's like, do you think he's automatically locked in for All-Pro Hall of Fame?
Right.
These guys aren't faces of the franchise. Take the money, be good, be good, get that good Pro Football Focus grade, get another contract after this one, and take the money you can get.
Yeah, you make a good point there because, like we talked about with Tyron Smith, one of DJ's early picks, when people talk about the Cowboys, what order is he in of people that they talk about?
Oh, God.
I mean
you got
it's
Zeke, Dak, and Dez.
It's the big three on offense. It's the owner. It's the coach. It's still
Jerry
Tony
Jones,
Romo.
yeah.
It's like dude.
Romo would get talked about before Tyron Smith. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I like that argument, Logan.
Straight cash, homie.
And you get to follow it up with double picks here.
Okay. I think I need to go back on the defensive end here. Not defensive end, but on my defensive end. You see where I'm going here.
There you go. Nice.
I'm going. Okay. Chris Harris is still there, right?
Yep.
Good. I'm taking Chris Harris. He graded out Pro Football Focus's highest graded cornerback, if I'm not mistaken. And he's kind of a guy who flies a lot under the radar because he's kind of a cog in that great Denver defense. But, I mean, he can kind of do it all. He's not like that feisty, but he gets up there and tackles. He covers very well. This is purely a Football Focus value pick here for me, but I really like him a lot.
You're kind of on the
undrafted.
Yeah, it's what you said with him. It's like he doesn't get a ton of focus. I think one of the reasons is because he wasn't drafted. Those people always have to really work to get their names out there. And then when you think about Denver's defense, you always think about the pass rush. And then you have a cornerback on the other side who's a little bit more mouthy, so he gets the media attention. But I'm with you. I think if I had to pick between Chris Harris and Aqib Talib, I would take Harris.
Yeah, they're both really good cornerbacks.
Well, it's age too. Talib is a really good tackler too.
Yeah.
I think he graded out as like the best tackling corner.
Yeah.
But with Harris, you have age on your side, and I mean, goddamn, I really like my team's ability to tackle and hit in the secondary right now.
Yeah, your defense is going to be solid.
All right, with the second pick of that, oh boy, I think I'm gonna go for a little bit of a wild card here.
Wild card, bitches.
Tyrann Mathieu is going to be my other safety.
Ooh, I thought DJ was going to take him right away.
Yeah.
I know it probably hasn't been said about him in a little while, but we're going to go back to a little Honey Badger talk. I don't think I've heard him referred to that since his first year in the league. But You knew in LSU he was going to be a guy that just made impact plays all around the field, and he's still super young. I mean, I don't know who – I can't name the GM of Arizona right now, but he does a fucking good job at drafting guys to put in the secondary out there.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. I took Patrick Peterson in this, so I was studying up on him as well. What scared me about Matthew right away was, I think what everyone was scared about with him was just the size. But the dude plays so much bigger than what he is, and he's really just made that just a non-factor. And DJ talks about him all the time. He's kind of just that dog, man. He'll get to the quarterback. He'll stop runs. He makes plays in the secondary.
Whoa, that's a derogatory term right there.
What did I say?
Dog.
All right. Man, he's a homeboy, man. He just... I don't know what else to call him, man. What do you want to call him, a joker?
I always have to bring a race into it. I'm sorry. I just have to do it.
I know you're a big fan of him as well.
He's all right.
He's all right. Psh.
Go ahead. Make your pick.
Make you up.
I'm going to go with the guy that Ben was ripping earlier and told us to draft. I am taking Calais Campbell.
Hey!
Who I'm finishing up my D line. He had this year his best year yet. Getting over that 90 barrier in PFF for ranking. He had 6 sacks in his last 5 games. And he had 57 total QB pressures and 5 batted passes when rushing the passer. And the guy's just tall. He gets up and knocks them down. He's long. He disrupts people. It's one of those guys that, like a J.J. Watt or Sue does this. He's not super tall, but guy that when they don't get to the ball, and Julius Peppers, I know, is historically known for this, and if they don't get the ball, they stand up and they swat it down. This is one of those most annoying defensive linemen in the world. Like offensive lineman does a great job of blocking them, and they go and still make a play somehow. I can't imagine how mad that would make me if I were an offensive lineman.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought he was so much older than what he was. I feel like he's been in the league so long, but yeah, dude, he's got that veteran presence. He is constantly on the field. Like you said, he's great. He's good against the run. He can get to the quarterback, and from the defensive tackle position, you'll probably have him on the 3-4 end.
Yep.
But yeah, he can obviously play that position as well. I mean, it's because it's what he does. But I'm just saying, man. Like, if I literally took him off the board because I thought he was older than what he was, so I didn't do my homework on that one.
Yeah, he had a solid year this year.
I'm with you. Logan, you want to add anything before I make my pick?
Go for it, bud.
All right. I am going to take my center, and he's the guy who protects DJ's quarterback in Andrew Luck. It's Ryan Kelly. He started all 16 games as a rookie and didn't allow a single sack, and he even played the year with injuries as well. He's basically that centerpiece right now of the Colts offensive line they need to build around. And like what DJ's doing in this fake team here, just build around Luck, or build around that one guy and actually give Luck some time. And that's what the Colts need to start doing. I actually thought they might be that team that takes a lineman in the first round again this year. But I don't know. It's tough to go back-to-back offensive line. But at the end of the day, if you have Andrew Luck, you at some point need to start giving him protection. And they had a great thing there with Ryan Kelly, and I'm more than happy with him being my guy, a second-year guy, and has already never allowed a sack in his career.
You know what's weird about in his career? You know what's weird about a center is you get this stat is doesn't allow a sack. Have you literally sat and watched the center play?
They stand there and they just kind of put hands on people.
Yeah, they put hands on the guys that the guards are blocking. They tap it and they put hands on. I feel like that's the easiest. I'm not dissing anybody, but I feel like that's got to be maybe the easiest offensive line position there is. And it's usually the worst, one of the worst, smallest linemen. It's just a guy who is really smart, is a little bit is talented, but it's. I just think that's a funny stat for those guys because they literally snap and they put hands on a couple of guys.
It is, and I think you're right because they probably are the least likely to give up a sack. No, but I understand that you're not dissing my pick. I literally have to take him just because of the way my draft works out.
Yeah,
But I never really watched center play until the Dolphins got Mike Pouncey. And what I see from a guy like Pouncey, and I'm going to talk about Logan's guy here, is, he doesn't really ever get like beat too bad off the snap. It's the little things that they can do, like on a screenplay, like giving up his man and getting to that next layer. And that's the thing that like Mike Pouncey is awesome at. I don't know if Ryan Kelly does that really, but I don't know. Just from what I have seen from him and from like the stats and the grades that are given out for him, like I said, I'm a broken record. He's the guy on the offensive line they're going to build around.
And it probably doesn't seem like much to us sitting on a couch and watching, but I mean something as simple as like, okay, a shove with one hand could potentially throw a guy off, like his rhythm, what he thinks, and like, I mean, even just a whole like a touch block on one side and then a go, or I mean it. I think that we just kind of devalue it because I mean we've talked about we don't see the physical, tangible results, but like
right.
I mean, and trust too. I mean, I feel like center quarterback, a lot of trust.
Yeah. And the last thing I'll add to that I'm going to add is I'm referring to the pass blocking here, but I think what shows their value is what they do maybe more in the run game.
Definitely.
And getting out and blocking ahead of screenplays like that, because obviously in screenplays you don't really block, you fake and then go.
Yep.
So it's more like how you play in a run game, like something like that. So I just think maybe the pass blocking for a center might be a little bit of an overrated stat.
Overrated stat. Yeah, I can get behind that. Like you said, it's kind of hard, especially from like a casual fan. I mean, we're not grading these guys on our own, and we're watching other stuff to just watch the center. So yeah, it's a tough call, but he's definitely one of the young up and comers. My other guy here, I'm going to take another young up and comer, and you guys are going to call me a homer, but that's fine because he's going to start at right tackle for me, and it's my boy Laremy Tunsil.
Oh God, how much weed's he going to smoke?
So my fun fact for Laremy Tunsil is he's the only player in the NFL who smokes weed.
I won't give you shit for that pick. That was a good joke.
Told you, there's a couple
like
here that
only
aren't
guy
true.
that smokes weed with a mask on.
Yes,
but
exactly.
I'm sure that's not true either.
Why I really like Tunsil, even though he hasn't, I guess he played a little bit at left tackle last year when they needed him to fill in. That's going to end up what he's going to do this year. That's what he's going to do for the next decade for the Dolphins. But for how easy he made that transition to offensive guard he played actually really well at guard too. He struggled with stunts right away at guard, but it was a whole different ball game and a whole different league. So that was tough for him. But once he kind of sat into that, he did really well. And a lot of people forget, he slid in the draft because of his bong mask. But for the longest time, he was literally going to be the number one overall pick. And if you follow NFL draft scout people on Twitter, the people who do it for a living, Tunsil is literally like the best graded offensive lineman that they've ever graded coming out of college. So he kind of gets a little bit of flack. He doesn't play in a huge market in Miami. They don't get a ton of national attention, but you heard it here, man. I watch him play every game. He's legit, and I think he's going to be an all-pro, maybe not all-pro right away, but he's going to be a Pro Bowl talent at left tackle here for the foreseeable future.
I just want to say that we just got our 419th follower, so that means our next is our 420th.
Dude, I hope it's Laremy Tunsil.
Yeah, so really weird that we're talking about this, but our 420th follower could be Laremy Tunsil.
And DJ's referring to Twitter, so if you haven't followed yet, we're at Loaded Box. Laramie, if you're listening, do this ASAP. We need you to be 420.
Laramie, follow now. I should tweet him.
Tweet this dude now.
You know what? After I make this pick, I'm going to go follow Laremy Tunsil, and then I'm going to tweet him.
I don't even know if he has Twitter, but hopefully he does.
I'll fucking find him. I do whatever I want. All right. So I'm going to short. It's my turn right now.
Sure.
That was your second. I'm going to short my defense, finish them off, get it done with, so I can get my last two guys on offense in these next couple of picks. I'm going to take Levante David.
Yeah, there he is.
Linebacker. I've got my run stopper, my guy who can kind of do everything, big monster, motherfucking angry guy in Navarro Bowman. Now I want a guy who's going to play my third down defense and chase anybody down and cover. I mean, this guy can cover running backs and tight ends out of the backfield. And Lavonte David, I watched him obviously play throughout college. I remember sitting with Ben specifically and watching a bowl game, and they were throwing on him, and he kept just knocking balls down. And they said, I remember you specifically saying, "Stop throwing to that guy."
Right.
This guy is great in coverage, and he's not a cornerback. He's almost like Deion Buchanan, as in he's built more like a safety.
Yeah.
But he's a linebacker because he makes tackles, he chases guys down, he's all over, he's relentless. I love this kid, Lavonte David. Homer pick.
Dude, still fairly young though too, and I can't disagree.
Still fairly young. He's got to be around, I'd say 27 years old. If I had to take 26, if I had to take, I didn't write his age down, but.
Yeah, and you've clearly seen more of his tape than probably Logan and I have, but it's like you said, every time I do watch him, like you said, he looks like an undersized dude, but he makes a ton of tackles. He's a monster in, if you're doing fantasy with a defensive player.
Yeah.
He is a guy that you can target in a league like that.
And he can rush the passer because he could come up the edge too.
Exactly, yeah. He'll get to the passer, and like you said, it's very tough to throw against him. He can cover tight ends, and then he has the speed to cover and hang with running backs as well.
Yeah, he could be a running back, I think.
All right,
but that's what I got.
We'll let Logan
He's
go
27
while
years
you...
old. I nailed it.
Oh, nice. Well, we'll let Logan pick while you get Laramie Tunsil to follow us on Twitter.
All right. I've got 3 picks left. All right, I've got 3 picks left, and I got my back-to-back here. I think I'm going to go ahead. Oh, boy. This gets tough for me. This is hard. I'm taking that Kendricks kid from Minnesota.
Yeah, I like him.
That's my
Lance
third.
Kendricks kid.
Taking that Kendricks kid.
He's really good. I really, really, really wanted the Packers to draft him when he came out a couple years ago. It kind of turns into overkill with UCLA players on the Packers, but that did not deter me from wanting him to still be drafted. He is really good. He kind of feel like he's in on just about everything that happens on the defensive end, on the defensive side of the field. Plus, he's super young, and I kind of have a lot of guys who are, like, middling. So it'd be nice to have a guy who's just, like, a true youther.
A true youther. Yeah, I'm with you. When he was coming out of UCLA, I was all about the Dolphins taking him. He's done nothing but impress since he's been in the league. I went to grad school in Minnesota, and so I know quite a few Viking fans. They have nothing really bad to say about the guy. So obviously they're watching him more than I am at this point, and I don't want to take a casual friend's viewpoint for too much more than it is, but they're pretty educated guys on football, and they have nothing bad to say about him, and I'll trust their opinion, and from what I've seen, he's still, I don't know, playing awesome, and he's got some pretty wicked hair, so it's cool.
That'll
That'll get him interested.
That didn't come through. You repeat it.
Is there a weed emoji?
Dude, if there's a gas mask, bong emoji.
I'm looking.
So now I have 2 guys with, like, yellowish, streaky, curly, weird hair.
Hey,
So
That should be part of your closing argument, ma'am.
Exactly. All right. I've got it. I'm taking wide receiver here, and I've got it between 3 guys. And I can make a case for a lot of them.
Yeah, there's some good receivers, man.
But
how many do you have, Ben?
I'm done.
Good. Thanks for telling me.
honestly, I feel like at this point, though, I mean, you're done. DJ, you have 3 or just 2.
I have 2. I got 1 more left.
You have AJ and Odell.
Yep. If you don't take my guy, I'm gonna.
It essentially becomes like, who do you just like?
Yep.
And a guy
That's what it
I
is.
just
It's
like, and I've seen him play it a lot, is Alshon Jeffrey.
What?
He's a bigger guy. He's got a lot of skill. It just didn't work out with the Bears. I think he's going to be in Philly. I think he's going to be super good. He's going to be an awesome fantasy player this year in Philly.
So
I like it.
I really like Alshon Jeffrey. I liked him at South Carolina. I liked him when he was with the Bears. But you're taking a guy that also has more injury problems. Man, you're just drafting a lot of injured guys. I'm not going to say it too much right now. I'll rip on you later. But I like him. He's a big-bodied guy. But and you can give me crap too because I took Corey Davis. But, dude, DeAndre Hopkins, Amari Cooper, like T.Y. Hilton, I think I would take all those guys over Alshon Jeffrey right now.
Care to defend yourself?
It's my team, and I'll draft who I want to, draft who I want to, draft who I want to.
I can't argue that.
Draft to if you didn't take 35-year-old players.
And
I think that's a garbage pick.
I think you're a garbage man.
I think that's a compliment. You know, I'm not nasty. I'm dirty. I get in there. I'm a garbage man. I'm a blue-collar American.
he packs his lunch and goes to work every day.
Plus, you're part of a union.
Yeah, I'm a lunch pail guy.
Yeah, he's a lunch pill guy. He's a Gruden grinder.
I'm a grinder.
Well, let's get past that.
I'm on Grindr if you care to find me.
DJ swiping left all night.
All night.
You mean this isn't an app for smallish white kind of football players?
Damn it. Jesus Christ.
This isn't an app for coaches' sons?
Can you
I
imagine?
love coaches' sons.
Can you imagine Gruden on Grindr? This guy right here. I tell you what, Jaws.
On Grindr.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. That didn't kick in for a second there.
Gruden's grinders.
Gruden's Grindr.
And he's just swiping on the app.
This
Right.
guy, I tell you what, this guy's glory hole game is a sight to behold. I've never seen a guy go quicker to the hole than this guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
that guy, he'll lay the pipe.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got no problem getting to the dirty areas of the field.
And he likes them loaded boxes, right?
Oh shit! How do we not say that right away? Gruden is the biggest free
Loaded box.
podcast supporter that we have. Dude says
Yeah,
loaded
he
box.
advertises the shit out of us.
Oh yeah, yeah. Gruden,
All right.
Gruden loves us.
So Logan's done with his 2 picks.
Quick side question: were you able to find Laramie on Twitter?
Yeah, I tweeted at him.
Nice. So he has potential to be our 420.
Yeah, I tweeted at him from our account, and I said to Laramie, I said, Laramie, we have 419 followers. Please be number 420, and then it looks like a chicken leg. Because, black people like chicken, so I went with that one.
I'm all about it.
And he's hungry, I assume, right now.
I'm good with it.
All right, so my second to last pick, I'm going to grab a wide receiver. I'm leaving tight end for last. I should not draft a tight end and go with that zero tight end strategy.
Oh, you can't do that.
That would be ballsy, right?
Right.
I'm going to take the first guy you mentioned in those wide receivers, and DeAndre Hopkins.
Nope.
25 years old, doesn't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as route running goes and hands goes, he's honestly, to me, second to none. Like, I think he runs better routes than Antonio Brown and Odell Beckham. So I had him high on my list. I actually had him at 2, but then I liked AJ Green. I wanted that big outside guy. But I had DeAndre Hopkins as my number 2 wide receiver, and I got him here in the second to last round, and I'm really excited about that. Big DeAndre Hopkins fan. Big.
Yeah, before last year's offense, when Houston legit couldn't do anything, there was talks about Hopkins legit being like a top 5 receiver in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
I'm with you. I kind of wish I had taken him over Corey Coleman. I just really like the Coleman fit, but I can't say enough good things about Hopkins. One thing about him though is so his nickname Nuke. When he was an infant, that was the only brand of pacifier that he wanted. So his mother just called him Nuke, and that nickname stayed with him to this day.
It's what it's called, Nook.
Nope, not this one. It's a
They say it wrong.
it's a Nucky or whatever you just said. But
I mean, it's Nook, though. They just pronounce it wrong.
no, it's Nuke.
It's Nook.
You wouldn't
It's
know.
enough. It's enough.
You wouldn't know because your infant who needs a Nuck has a concussion.
Nook. Oh, yeah? It's a Nook.
You're a bad parent.
All right, we'll see. But you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. It's called a Nook.
I'm sorry. We should pick this back up tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Well,
don't respond to that.
I've got my obvious picks here now, and I waited until you guys took running backs because I told you I wasn't going to be choosy between. If I didn't take the first running back, I was going to wait because Zeke, Le'Veon Bell, and freaking DJ. Oh my God, Johnson. Why am I blowing his first
You were actually
name?
talking to me there for a second, so I got confused.
Why am I blowing his first name right now?
David, you fucking idiot.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I said DJ and it threw me off because of Dustin Johnson, the golfer, because golf was just
Oh
on.
my God.
But yeah, so when you think of David Johnson, one, you can't remember his first name, and two, for all you kids out there that need to just think of someone from the past, think of Marshall Faulk. The dude does it all. He obviously runs super well, catches the ball out of the backfield better than probably any running back in the league.
Runs super well. That's a great analysis.
Well, that's why I didn't go that far with it because I didn't really need to expand on that.
Doesn't
What
do
did
it at all.
didn't he have a run during the year last year where he had 15 straight games with like at least 100 yards and like a
100
touchdown or
yards
something?
from scrimmage. Yeah.
And then the only reason he didn't get it is because the last week of the year he got hurt.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
the Cardinals are really known as a team that kind of, I think he kind of gets ignored a little bit, and I think it's because they're known for passing the ball a lot. But I think he's a huge part of that, and I think he's that running back. He's a built guy. He doesn't need just the Cardinals to succeed. I think the guy could be awesome anywhere. Whereas a guy like Le'Veon Bell, if he played with an offensive line that maybe wasn't as good as Pittsburgh's, I'm not sure that little hesitation thing would work as good. I think
I don't
Le'Veon.
agree. I don't agree.
Well,
I think
let me
his
finish here
offensive
for
line
1 second.
Isn't that good, and that's why he makes them better.
No, I don't think you can just wait that long behind a shitty offensive line, though.
But the linebackers are they're on skates. They don't know what to do. I don't think the offensive line is overall great. I think he makes the offensive line better because he makes people pick and choose between a hole and then goes to the opposite because he just stands and waits for it.
All right, well, I've seen some really shitty Dolphins offensive line play where if you waited behind that offensive line, you're fucked.
It's the running back, not the line.
I don't know. I'm not ripping on Le'Veon Bell. Like, if I was going to take the first running back, I was going to take him. Like, I would have taken him over Zeke. But I was willing to wait once you guys took him because I'm more than happy with David Johnson. Another cool thing about David Johnson is he's a triplet. The other two aren't in the NFL because they're girls.
I knew that as well.
You knew that?
Yeah, I knew a lot about David Johnson for some weird reason.
Damn, you even knew his first name. That's impressive.
Yeah, he doesn't go under my radar. I think it's because I watched the NFL Top 100. He was number 14 last night. And they
Oh,
dropped
yes.
back to it.
So full disclosure, how you built this team was NFL Top 101 Football Focus. You probably scrambled 15 minutes before each day.
No.
And we're scouring for notes.
Half my shit is on
Yeah,
my
okay.
phone.
Well, that's fair.
Most of my linemen are both basically picked from some rankings, but most of the other positions are guys that I like.
Yeah, like haha.
Yeah, like Clinton Dix.
Well, I'll go on to my other obvious pick because I was the last one to take the position, and I thought about it a little bit longer, but I'm going to stick with Derek Carr. And today on Twitter we did our pre-podcast poll, and we asked if you were starting an NFL franchise, if Aaron Rodgers and Andrew Luck were already gone, who would you pick? And Derek Carr got 57%, Marcus Mariota got 23%, Jameis Winston got 12%, and then there was a couple other write-ins, but I think those are really your only three people that you'd maybe consider right now. I'm going to go with Derek Carr, but where I'll go with this is between the Mariota and Winston. I think I'm going to go with Winston over Mariota just because I like Mariota's skill set, but I think he's a bad knee injury away from being forced to be more of a pocket passer. And as a pure passer, I like Winston over Mariota.
What was that, Logan? You spit it
I
out?
was just saying, Mariota's just so smallish. His frame is smaller, so I can understand that.
Well, and the other thing is, I think Jameis is a better just quarterback, pure quarterback, where Mariota, I honestly think he's got more talent around him. They know how to run an offense with him where they run the ball a lot and then they run play action, and most likely he just has to do his first read. If I have a guy who has to sit back and make reads, I'm taking Jameis Winston 100% over Marcus Mariota. I don't know why people are so high. Like, fantasy football-wise, I can see maybe taking Mariota over Winston, but as far as a pure quarterback starting your franchise, I was more than shocked. And then I saw somebody write it now I'm blanking on it, I just had it in my head. Carson Wentz. I wanted to freak out so bad on that person.
I know. Yeah,
bad.
You can't take Carson Wentz can't be part of this discussion. I was going to say that as well. I'm right with you. But you're right on Mariota. I think what people get infatuated with, like I was a guy that took Mariota late in the draft last year, and he ended up being my starter, and it was great because he performed awesome in fantasy because he could run. And like you said, their running game sets him up so beautifully as a passer. So in fantasy, you can give me Mariota. But if I'm, like you said, a pocket passer or a guy I need to win the game with his arm, I'm all about Winston. But I am taking Carr, just for clarity's sake in this draft.
I know it's not very hot takey, but I think it's a push. I mean, they're both pretty good. They're both young. I mean,
you're right, man. That's cold takey.
They're both obviously like the team on the rise, right? Like they're both the team that we think. I mean, Tennessee finally won 9 games. I think Tampa went up with 9, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they won up with 9. I mean, so obviously these are going to be the quarterbacks, that are going to find their way into the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 range if they're not already there.
Wow, that's a lot of numbers.
Pick a guy, Logan. I'm not letting you pick them both.
Mariota.
Oh.
I'm mad the fuck out of you.
Sucker born.
I don't like it. Like, whatever. You picked him. All right.
It's your choice.
It's your choice.
All right, DJ, your last pick. What position do you have here?
Tight end.
Tight end.
I did have Tyler Eifert ranked ahead of this guy, but I haven't taken a rookie yet, and I really like this guy. I'm going to go O.J. Howard.
Yeah, that a boy.
Honestly, when it comes to rookies, he seems like he's got the total package.
Yeah, hot.
And if he turns out sucky, he's the tight end. I don't care. But he can run block, and in the games that I've watched of him, which have been his big games, he ends up just tearing it up, and the guy can fly. He's just a big tight end. Really going to be a good guy in the red zone as well. You can almost do that thing where you can just split him up and throw a jump ball to him in the red zone, where you start out like in a goal line formation and then audible to him out on a small cornerback or a linebacker.
Right.
He's the type of guy that can present matchup problems for safeties, linebackers, cornerbacks, anybody on the field that you try to throw at him. Just get you big, fast, strong type of guy. So as far as tight end goes, he may be one of the highest rated tight ends coming out of college that I've seen in my lifetime.
Yeah, and you nailed it too. He wasn't drafted in the first round because of his cumulative college football stats. He played on a lot of Alabama teams that didn't win games throwing the ball. But like you said, he played huge in national championship games. I think in the 2 back-to-back ones that he played, he had like 400 yards and 4 touchdowns or whatever it was. The dude's a monster. And imagine if he'd have played like in Clemson's offense where they spread it around and everything. The guy would have been, he's already a monster, but he'd have been a statistical monster every game.
Yeah.
I'm all about it. If I would have waited for a tight end, he was my guy.
Yeah, which I did. 0 tight end strategy.
I like it, man. You stuck to your guns. It's a boy.
All right. You're up last? Or
last pick of the freaking draft for Logan for closing arguments.
Okay. I also have to take a tight end here, and I'm afraid of taking like 2 of these guys because I'm going to get like shit on for injury stuff again.
Yep.
But I can't. If the motherfucker, and I don't know if you saw this on Twitter, if the motherfucker can spend $101,000 on a bar tab,
yeah, baller.
The motherfucker can play hurt in at least a couple of games to make this worthwhile. Think of it like this. If I take Gronk, I'm better with just purely what I have than the Patriots. Would you agree with that? Even without Gronk, my team is better than the Patriots.
Well, yeah.
And who won the Super Bowl last year?
The Patriots.
Without Gronk?
Gronkless.
So when you take that information, combine that with the information that I'll now take Gronk and he might get hurt, I would still win a fictional Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, you're playing against our team.
I'm taking Gronk. Fuck you guys. Shit on me. Do what you want.
No.
I have Gronk.
I think
Gronk's not an awful pick. I just don't trust his back.
He's here to do three things: drink, fuck bitches, score touchdowns. All right, and that's what he's gonna do. And that should be the argument for my whole team, except for Aaron Rodgers, because he's. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but he's gay.
Yeah, he's a gay.
He's the best gay quarterback in the league. But
you see that ass that he's having right now?
Hot take.
oh, really? Is he? Who?
Yeah.
Okay. When you're asked if you are gay, do you respond by going? You take a really deep breath and you go, "I really, really, really like women." Like, come on, Aaron. Like that's how you responded to that? Like, I don't care. It's 2016. I don't give a shit.
It's actually
Aaron
2017.
Well, it's 2016, and Aaron Rodgers would admit that if he was gay.
Yeah, but I mean, you saw what happened to that offensive lineman from the Patriots. You have to wait till you're done. You have to wait till you're out of the league before you can come out.
What year do both of you think it is right now?
2016.
It's 2016. All right.
All right. Fair enough. We recorded this a long time ago, guys.
All right. That's all she wrote.
All right. Well, should we go in order of what we drafted for closing arguments?
I don't care.
I want to check one thing before we get started here.
Okay. I have to go in the middle either way, so.
Yeah, you do. That is a good point. No, that's fine. I was going to ask if there was any guys out there that you were surprised weren't drafted. My guy would be Amari Cooper.
You're surprised that he wasn't drafted out of all the receivers?
Well, he's unbelievably young. He's going to be like 23 years old. He's had his kind like a struggle with drops, but receivers, and you're a advocate of this as well. Receivers really come into their own and get the position in like their third year. And I think with a guy like Carr, I think Cooper is on the verge of exploding.
I mean, I like Cooper, but I think in this position, in this type of game that we're playing, I don't think he's draftable.
He's my guy. Do you have a guy that kind of stands out or no?
Yeah, Taylor Lewan.
Taylor Lewan? Yeah.
Yeah, he only gave up 2 sacks or hits all season last year, so he's a good left tackle. Obviously, he can run block for that team, so for Tennessee. So I was surprised that somebody didn't take him and put him at right tackle.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I talked about it earlier. It was between him or Conklin for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's only 25 years old as well. So if I didn't draft my 2 early tackles, I definitely would have taken him next.
Remember how bad, I don't want to say bad, but like underwhelming the offensive line draft was this year. Like they were like, well, will there even be an offensive lineman drafted? But the years before that, were stacked. So there's so many young guys like that are playing tackle right now that it's gonna be, if they pan out, but it's gonna be a position of strength. There's gonna be a lot of young guys.
Taylor Lewan was like graded really highly. He was in a slouch, and he had a great season.
Right. No, I'm with you. Logan, did you have a guy?
I was pretty surprised. I really liked Devin McCourty, and I really thought about taking him. I was kind of surprised that no one found a way to fit him in there. He's made the switch from corner to safety, and it's probably helped him out a lot.
Right.
I mean, he's not a guy you think of as like, name your top 3 safeties, but like he's probably in there at like that 5-6 range. So I was kind of surprised no one wound up taking him.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
My only argument against him is that I tend to stay away from guys on the Patriots defense.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I feel like they I don't know if they're just better at hiding weaknesses. And I mean, obviously, I'd like to say, why don't other teams do that? But obviously, not everybody has a coach that can figure out ways to do that. So I try to stay away from more of the Patriots guys, because you don't know how. I mean, you see guys that suck awful. Oh, a lot of guys, and then end up at the Patriots being good players. So
Yeah, exactly.
Well, with that being said, Logan, I think we're going to let you be the first closing argument guy here. What? Am I saying that wrong again?
No,
closing argument. You're right that
All
time.
right.
The way I'm going to present this is, I want. I'm going to ask a couple of questions.
All right.
Here we go.
Do I have the best quarterback in the league?
Check.
Yes.
Do I have the best front seven
Actually,
out of this experiment?
if we're doing this
No.
if we're doing this court style, I think you need to say, is it true that Aaron Rodgers
Correct.
is the best quarterback in the league? I don't think you can ask. I think you need to phrase that differently.
Okay, well, if
Objection,
I'm going to
motherfucker.
do it, I'm going to do it as a Southern lawyer.
Just let him go, Ben.
I'll let him go.
Is it true? I say now, is it true that Aaron Rodgers is the best gay quarterback and blue quarterback in the league?
Yes.
Facts.
Is it true that when healthy, and they will be healthy, I have the best front four in the league
Probably
In defense?
close.
defensively?
Yeah, I guess.
Is it true
I don't know.
that both of your team's offensive players would shit their pants whenever they have to come and play against my hard-hitting defense?
Nope.
Yeah, I've got some
Ladies and gentlemen
mean
of the
dudes on the offensive line, and Laramie Tunzel's going to be so baked, man. He doesn't give a fuck.
Cam Chancellor, Matthew, Harris, Kuechly, Wagner, Miller, Watt, Donald, Sue.
I got the best front five, so I'm not worried.
That's a pretty
I
nasty
just-
defense. I'll give you that. That is a nasty defense.
I mean, when you say that my weak link is potentially Matthew, who's still relatively young,
Yeah, pretty weak.
I can live with that all day long. Offensively, Antonio Brown, Des Bryant, I understand I'll probably take some flack for Jeffrey, but I like having those two bigger guys paired up with Brown. I have perhaps the best young running back. I think it's probably very close up there with my running back and your running back, DJ, with Bell. It's kind of like a what would you rather have? Would you rather have that guy who's going to go and bang and hit a hole, or the guy who can dance around a little bit behind the line and wait for a little bit and hit it? Although I did not draft high for offensive linemen, I think I still have awesome quality, and I have guys who are extremely versatile. And I have Gronk, who fucks bitches, gets paid, and scores touchdowns. So
All right, well, thank you for your closing argument. DJ, with the second pick, why don't you go ahead and give yours?
I'm going to start with a little offense and go to a defense on this. All right? I've got arguably the second most talented quarterback in the league. And you know what? We're all going to have great quarterbacks. So what makes a quarterback even better is having the best offensive line in front of them in the league. So I have the best offensive line in the league, all right? I've got Tyron Smith, Trent Williams, two great left tackles, and I'm putting Trent at right, along with Osamele or whatever it is. Kevin Zietler at the two guard position and the best center in the league. And a tight end who can also block, OJ Howard, and then go down the field and make big catches. And I've got Odell Beckham, my number one wide receiver, playing in the slot in between AJ Green and DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah,
all
I
right?
love that.
This offense is lethal, and Andrew Luck's going to have so much time to throw the ball. But you know what? If he wants to hand it or toss it out to a running back, maybe he's just going to give it and toss it out to the best running back in the league, the most patient guy who's got great hands. He does great rap songs, all that, and Le'Veon Bell. All right? So this offense is just unstoppable, and everybody loves offense. Now let's go to the defense here. Maybe not the most talented defense. Maybe not. Probably not.
that's the first.
That's your argument?
But
Not the most talented defense.
I've got young and upcoming guys who will make them the most talented defense in Joey Bosa and Leonard Williams. maybe potentially the two best guys at their positions in the next 2 to 3 years. Navarro Bowman leading those guys, who's just a freak of nature, along with Levante David running all over the field. And then at cornerback, I paired up a guy who doesn't allow guys to catch the ball, who's going to go against the wide receiver in Xavier Rhodes, with a guy in Marcus Peters, who's going to pick it off against that second wide receiver and take chances. So I've got that guy knocking balls down to the guy picking the ball off and taking it to the house, and two just great leaders in Landon Collins and the Clinton Dix, young and at the respective positions. I like my chances against you guys here.
Okay, you guys ready to hear the team that's going to win this?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do it like DJ did. I'm going to go offense, then defense. So on offense, your guys' arguments, we're a lot about your good quarterbacks and everything, and I can't argue the fact that Aaron Rodgers and Andrew Luck are so good. But I'll go back to episode 1 here. If you're going to give me studs around it, like I'm a believer that I can get by with another top 5 quarterback. I don't need that stud. I'm more than happy with Derek Carr falling to me. Before he got hurt, and I mean, there's a lot of great offensive players. Derek Carr was in MVP discussions this year. We saw what happened to the Raiders as soon as they lost him. They weren't a playoff team without Derek Carr. Derek Carr made them a playoff team. So if you're going to give me Derek Carr, I'm more than happy with that. And like I said with running backs, Zeke's great, Le'Veon's great, but you're going to give me the value in the second to last pick with a guy like David Johnson, who's potentially the most complete back in the NFL. I don't need to say too much more about that. This is going to be the greatest show on turf 2.0. My outside guys, I took the DJ strategy. I went with the size guys. You're going to give me Julio Jones and Mike Evans. Both of those guys are going to be mismatch nightmares. There's no cornerbacks that are really that tall and physical to be able to play with them. You know why? Because I have him. I have Patrick Peterson. You're not going to be able to man up on Julio like that. I might have taken a stretch with my slot guy in Corey Davis, but like I just see the potential there. And with my offensive line, I've got a lot of young guys, and then I've got one guy in the middle there in Marshall Yanda who's going to just overlook that entire line. So my offensive line is set. Don't need to worry about it. A big strength of my defense, and you guys are going to laugh at me, but this is a strong case. My defensive line, they might not be the most youthful, damn it. I'll admit it. They're not that youthful. But they're a core group of guys that are going to get the job done. Khalil Mack and Cam Wake on the outside, good luck. Gerald McCoy and Kawan Short in the middle, yeah, maybe it's not as nasty as a core as intern Logan's, but you're literally giving me the best defensive player in Khalil Mack, and then I've got 3 awesome guys surrounding him. I already talked about my cornerbacks. What I really like too is my versatility at linebacker. I've got that one guy in the middle that's going to be able to be a run stuffer. I've got Collins on the outside who can play in coverage, and I got Smith who can get sideline to sideline as quick as anyone. And my underrated position is my safeties. I've got Eric Berry, who legit does it all, and Harrison Smith, who's a carbon copy of that. He does it all as well. So, I don't know. If you guys want to make your vote count, if you want to go for the right team, I suggest that you go with team number 3, and that's your co-host Ben Morgan's team.
Yeah, now we have to...
I really do like your wide receivers. Even with Corey Davis, I think there's enough potential and upside to still make a clear argument that you have the number 1 wide receiving group.
I was going to say that I probably had the best, but then DJ rattled his off, and I got a little jealous.
Yeah, you should get a little worried with Odell Beckham, DeAndre Hopkins, and AJ Green.
That's nasty. That depending on how Corey Davis does, that's kind of the wild card here. But yeah, you got 3 guys who are young, but have obviously done it.
Yeah, I can't wait to get somebody. Somehow we're finding a way in the next week or 2 to simulate these games.
Well, we need to wait for the Madden to come out.
I'm going to talk to somebody. Yeah, we do. Yeah, maybe in August then.
So we'll do it. Anyone got any other things they want to get off their chest before we wrap it up? This is a marathon, so thanks for everyone for sticking through it.
I got to go watch Better Call Saul.
Oh, I got to do that too.
I'm currently part of a mock GM situation on the internet. I'm the Phoenix Suns. Listen to this team. Let me tell you what I've done to the Phoenix Suns.
What have you done to the Phoenix Suns?
I got Jamal Murray from the fucking Nuggets, okay? I still have Booker. He's a beast.
So you have all Kentucky guys. Good job.
Yeah, Kentucky.
Yep. Jay Crowder, TJ Warden. I drafted Tatum at 4. I drafted Monk at 9. I drafted Anunoby at 13, and I drafted Patton at 15. I traded a bunch of guys, got a bunch of picks. I like where I'm at. My cap situation is prime as shit, and we're gonna pop this bad boy into NBA 2K, fucking whatever 2K we're on right now.
16.
And,
Yeah, 16, man. Come on, get it right.
yeah, 16. I forgot. And we're gonna see how this bad boy goes.
Jason Tatum, the best player in this draft.
At 4. At fucking 4.
My question to you would be, you don't have LeBron James, so whatever side of the league he's on, East or West, if you're on the same side of him, you're done.
No, I'm on the same side as the Warriors, so I'm kind of
Done.
You're kind of done
and no,
then.
and no one picked the Warriors because that's boring.
Fair
Fair
enough.
enough.
Nice. Well, thanks again for listening to the Loaded Box podcast with a side of NBA 2K16. Like I said, we recorded this in I don't even know when that game would have come out, but
January?
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
As always, if you have any questions, tweet them to us on the podcast. Be our 421st follower after Laramie Tunzel at Loaded Box. Be sure to vote. We're gonna get this podcast posted, and then shortly after, we're gonna find a way to get the rosters of our team uploaded. So be sure to vote and comment on them as the best one you think once they're posted. And as always, we're available on iTunes by searching Loaded Box. So be sure you subscribe, rate, and review. Thank you once again for listening to the longest ever podcast in the Loaded Box's history, and peace be with you all.
Bye.